Tonight he's right here to entertain you. Please welcome to the stage, Bill Santiago!
How are you guys? You know, that's an interesting experiment in behavioral manipulation, what I just pulled off. I came out, was a little disjointed. You saw I was not happy. I toned it down a little bit, made you focus. I gave you the signal, you came in thunderously. You have no idea the sensation of power that is coursing through me right now. It's amazing. I didn't even expect that. That was not written. Totally improvised. This week has not gone the way I expected it. You know, you can't predict the kinds of things that are going to be popping up in the news. You don't know, and then all of a sudden, you know, certain things as you have to address them. You can't make believe they didn't happen. Of course, it puts me in an awkward position. So much sadness.
Michael Jackson has been one of the best-known stars on this planet for the last several decades. On this night, when we were preparing a remembrance of Farrah Fawcett, suddenly word arrived from Southern California that Jackson had been rushed to the hospital. There were grave reports about his condition, and now this, confirmation tonight that he has died.
I felt a little bad when I found out that Farrah Fawcett had died. I did. I felt not terribly bad, but, you know, a little bad. I was like, oh, you know, I had the poster. I remember that. I like the poster. I recently replaced that poster. I really like the poster. And then when I found out that Michael Jackson had died, later that afternoon, that's when I really felt bad for Farrah. I was like, oh man, you didn't even have your own day. You have to share your death day. That shows you how cutthroat this business is. When your death gets bumped by the death of a bigger star. You know, I gotta come to that curtain. I'm thinking how, you know, knowing that the best entertainer ever is no longer molesting children, it's a very difficult thing for me to live up to. I thought it was a publicity stunt at first. You know, I thought, okay, maybe he just wants to redo Thriller, you know, like make it very real this time, just come out of the grave. Nobody would be expecting that, you know? I mean, it would generate a lot of publicity. It would have been brilliant, but when I heard the autopsy was yesterday, there's no coming back from the autopsy. There's no post-autopsy tour. That's pretty much... You know, I mean, he's been cut up a lot, but autopsy, that's really serious. There's no coming back from that. You know, my thoughts, I think everyone at a certain point when you're like, you know, taking in that someone that significant in the music world has died, you always go, hey, and Keith Richards is still alive. How does that happen? And Keith Richards... At a certain point, that just pops into view. Wait a second, Keith Richards is still alive. They should do an autopsy on Keith Richards just to find out why he's not dead. It would be like a reverse autopsy, you know? And he'd probably survive it. He'd be the first person to survive an autopsy. He'd just brush it off. Oh, another flesh wound, light up a cigarette, be on his way. That is extra special. That is extra special. The coverage, are you watching the coverage? It's a little uncomfortable. All these people acting as if they have insight. You don't know. You don't know. Oh, he was kind of weird, kind of crazy, strange towards the end there, but he had so much talent, and then I don't know what happened. We don't know. It was a little, I was there. He talked. We don't know. I mean, it was the allegations. The allegations. No one wants to admit it. We know he had. We know he was. We know he needed the children, and we don't care. We wanted that music, and whatever it takes, give him some children. As a country, we should have just been it would have been very less hypocritical. We know he needs the children. Give him some children. Every once in a while, just toss him one. I mean, not the ones we like. There's a couple we don't like. You know, every once in a while, just identify those kids and make the sacrifice. Like sometimes you have a pet snake. You don't like feeding rats to the snake, but you got to do it if you want the snake. It actually would have helped. You know, kids are out of control. Imagine the kind of discipline you could have instilled if you told the kid, behave yourself or else you're going to the ranch. I mean, they would have straightened up right away. You're going to Neverland, that's right. No one ever comes back from Neverland the same way. Oh, it's fun for the first couple days, a lot of rides, and then do your homework. I would do your homework if I were you. We'd have the world's most well-behaved kids. But we missed an opportunity. He was so good. He was so good. I mean, never took a dancing lesson. People all over the world, you know, imitating his dance. The singing, I mean, he took everything to the next level, and a couple of things just a little too far. Like the next level would have been here, and a few of them he was like, so sad. When you think back, you know, A, B, C. Then you cut to the present, and you're like, oh. And Farrah got nothing. Farrah got nothing. No coverage whatsoever. Everybody was supposed to be on Larry King discussing Farrah. Larry King had to call everybody, can you say something about Michael? Otherwise, I got to bump you, because tonight is all Michael coverage for the next week. All Michael, Michael. Can you moonwalk? Otherwise, you could not be honest. I gave up even trying to moonwalk. I cannot moonwalk. I wish I could. You see, that's the thing. No one else made anyone else want to dance that way. Everything else you could imitate. Everyone could twist. Everyone could do a little, but no one could moonwalk. Nobody. I never knew anyone who could actually nail it. I could moonwalk on the moon. I would pay billions of dollars to get there. Oh, God, I can't do it up here yet. Imagine just one day later, it would have been all Farrah. We'd still be talking about Farrah. Oh, she had the hair. There really wasn't that much. I mean, you would have had to stretch. She had incredible nipples, though. Big, huge nipples. That's what I remember. I don't know if it's appropriate to mention that about the deceased, but it's true. People talk about her hair and her smile, but it was really the nipples that got your attention. They just kind of poked through everything, no matter what she was wearing. They noticed them, you know? When you go back and see that poster, you'll go, he was right. I swear to God. They should actually bury her a few inches deeper because, you know, I'm just saying, these are the things they don't hear in the news that I would like to hear. Some real honest commentary. They don't seem to allow that. Nobody really wants to tell the truth, but I will tell it. I'll tell it about someone else. I'll tell it about my own life. I used to have headlines about my own life that I would discuss, but apparently I have been preempted as well. It's got me thinking about death. Death is not fun. You go to the cemeteries, no one's having fun at the cemetery. There's huge potential for it, but you never see it, you know? You see a tombstone, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's ripe for a good line or two, you know, but you never see anything. Have you been to a cemetery? They're so depressing, just because I don't think they're taking advantage of the levity possibilities, the potential there. I don't know, I'd like to walk in once and just see like a tombstone that said, I may be dead, but I'm still horny. You'd miss that guy. You wouldn't know him and go, I would have liked to hang out with that guy. That guy had a sense of humor. It's a shame he's dead, you know? All right, well, let's say you walk into it. Let's just suppose, just go with me. You walk into a cemetery and you walk in, and the first headstone you see it says, I'm standing right behind you. I would be like, oh, you got me now. You're good, you know. But that would just never happen. We never really face, you know, mortality, actually, not head on. We spend, do you know the amount of money that we waste on research we're still looking for the leading cause of death. It's birth. There is a 100% correlation. I don't know how people keep missing it, you know. No one has ever died without being born first. At some point previous to the death. It's just a matter of how long there is in between, but my girlfriend has just informed me that she's going off the pill. Which, I am not a fan of the alternatives. Especially Trojans. I can't believe that's what they're called. Why would you name any form of protection after the greatest security breach in the history of protection? How could you have a marketing team so backwards, so dyslexic to get something that fundamentally wrong? For the record, the Spartans used a Trojan horse to sneak in and knocked up Troy is what happened. I don't think that's a brand image I'm looking for in a contraceptive. Honestly, it sounds to me like it would be a lot more appropriate for some sort of fertility enhancing technology. You're still not pregnant? Try Trojans. We'll get your little soldiers in there. I want to thank you guys right now for following along as much as you have. A lot of people don't make it to the end of anything I say. You guys are ahead of the curve, and I really appreciate that. People ask me, then, Bill, what if they don't? What if they don't get you? What if they don't follow along? What if they peter out? What if they don't get there with you? I could care less. Is it I could care less or I couldn't care less? I always say I could care less because I couldn't care less which one it actually is. Although I realize there's a difference, it's not the same thing. I could care less means as much as I'm already not caring. There's still a lot more not caring I could be doing. Oh, don't think this was it. Well, I have not yet begun. Believe me, I can generate a lot more not caring than this. It's not pretty, you don't even want to know. It's almost like a threat. Don't push me. I could care less. I couldn't care less is an entirely different level. This is even if I cared enough to care less more. I couldn't. I am sorry, I have no more not caring left for you. You should have told me you were coming. I would have saved some not caring for you. I know how much not caring your ass requires. You see this? I'm trying to not care more than this and I can't. I can't even muster up one more iota of not caring for you. Do you know I don't even know what that word iota is? I use it all the time. I swear to you, I have no idea what that means. All I know is never in my life have I ever heard of 2 iotas. It's always that one that people are pointing out a severe deficiency, and I don't know how he got that job. He doesn't have 1 iota of experience. If he had the 1, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I've never heard of any other unit of human measurement where the second you reach the minimum requirement, you peaked, you'll never have 2. Don't even try for 2. There's no such thing as 2. I would give 2 iotas just to find out why you can't have more than 1. If I ever have kids, I hope it's twins. I'm gonna name them both Iota. I'll post their pictures on Facebook. I will be getting a lot of traffic on my site. How'd he do it? How'd he do it? I'm gonna have to get my identity stolen, by the way, just so I can stop these people that I have lost touch with deliberately from tracking me down on Facebook. This is getting very annoying. I mean, from second grade, you don't think I have filled the voids in second grade with other people in my life? There is no need for this. I have moved on, you should too. These people I have deleted from my cell phone, popping up on my computer, no. I had a dog once, ran away. The other day he tried to friend me on Facebook. I was like, no, you made your choice, I'm sorry. Keep running, I'm a cat person now. People believe these people are their friends. These people are not your friends. Sending you cocktails, they wouldn't buy you a drink in real life. These people are not your friends. Poking you? Stop poking me! You wouldn't poke me if I was really there. How is this appropriate internet social behavior? In real life, it's fucking annoying. I would put a stop to the poking right away. You got to keep your status updated, otherwise, you're nothing. Just update the status. Well, I'm sick of Facebook. That's my status. Bill Santiago is still sick of Facebook. That's my status. Still sick, still sick, still sick. Twitter? Are you on Twitter yet? It's too late. We've moved on. It's gibberish now. Gibberish.com. We should consolidate all of these stupid things into one big website. Call it timesuck.com. Now we know where to go. And yet I have plunged deeper into the technology. I just bought myself a Mac. $3,000, I have no idea why. I don't know why I did it. Were you wooing? Do you have a Mac? Yeah, you're a Mac person? Mac people love to hear someone else was stupid as they were to spend that much money. It wasn't just me. Oh, thank God, it wasn't just me. Did you get the Pro? I got the Pro. As soon as they said Pro, I had to have it. I don't know why. I mean, there's an entry-level model. They were like, nah, you can get away with that. But the MacBook Pro, they had a special lighting and everything. As soon as I had to have the Pro. I'm still incompetent. I don't know how to use it, but I feel like a pro. I'm on tech support. Hey, I'm a pro. I can't turn it on. Can you help me turn it on, please? I can't get it to work. What's so valuable about this machine that it's worth this kind of money? They said, well, look, it's got a magnetic power cord, right? Someone trips across it. It doesn't pull the machine off. The cord just flies away, just flies away. So I said, this is the most expensive thing I have ever bought in my life. Now, if a criminal wants it, not even the cord's there to hold them back. I won't even sense that someone has just lifted it up off my... You've made it, you've increased the stealability. That's what you've done. They got me on the iMovie stuff, though, because I went to film school, $10,000 a month. You know, whenever graduates, they can't afford it. Now you can make a movie, drag and drop. Drag and drop! All that money I wasted, I was calculating, oh my God, this machine could save me millions of dollars in movies that I wouldn't have made, but, millions of dollars. I said, what can't this thing do? What can't it do? I said, listen. I had a one-on-one with the salesperson. I just took him aside. I said, can I just ask you something, Mike? I'm ready. I got the credit card. I don't know if I'm going to do just one thing. My father died recently. Is there any way that I can contact him through this machine? He didn't even skip a beat. He goes, yeah, there's an app for that. So now I'm like waiting for my father to friend me on Facebook. I'm like, now, seriously, maybe it's all this whole death thing. I don't know, but like now I want to know more. I want to know more about religion and everything. Like now I want to know, is there something else? I have cracked open that Bible and I had no idea how much catching up I have to do. Thou shalt not kill. Are you guys familiar with that one? Have you heard of it? I always thought it was the first commandment. I just figured something that important, thou shalt not kill, had to be way up there on the top of that list. I Googled it, number 6. That blew me away. 6, according to the 10 commandments, there are 5 worse things I can do to you. Then kill you. How do you like that? Thou shalt not kill didn't even make top 5. Not even runner-up. Anybody know what the runner-up is? Second commandment? Thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain. That's right. That means if someone shoots you dead, but just before you die, you manage to shout out, God damn it! You're the one going to hell. How do you like that? Religion's a very dangerous thing. Not for amateurs. Don't fool around with it if you're not qualified. It could backfire. I've never had any luck with it. 7 years old, I got beat up by a kid named Jesus. That's how I pronounce it too. Not even Jesus, Jesus, which I knew was wrong. That flipped me out even more. And when you're 7, you can't tell the difference between Jesus, typical Puerto Rican name in the neighborhood, and Jesus, the actual Savior. So I was walking around all guilty, confused. What had I done that the Lord would send His only begotten Son down to Brooklyn to kick my ass? Never get up. That'll leave a little emotional scar. I don't know if you can see it, it's a little hairline, but it's there. Are you religious people? I mean, you need something, right? Some sort of philosophy to keep you on track, whatever it is. I've been experimenting. They say dance like nobody's watching. Have you heard that one?
Yeah.
Love like it never been heard. Little tougher. Work like you don't need the money. I say work like nobody's watching. Love like you don't need the money. Dance like somebody's definitely going to get hurt. It's a little more aggressive. But this is the attitude we need to get us out of these economic doldrums. Obama needs our help! I voted for Obama, by the way. You know why? Because I will do whatever Oprah tells me to do. I'm no different than anybody else. Oprah says read, I read. Oprah says vote, I vote. And he owes her everything. The second that she came out and endorsed him, that was it, done deal. I don't even know why they kept on campaigning. Oprah said it! And so it shall be done. I was watching, I knew it was historic. I couldn't believe it on my TV screen. Both of them together on stage, those words coming out of her mouth. He is the one. That's like right out of the Matrix right there. That's very powerful language. He is, I was at home screaming. I was like, Oprah, what? Oprah, you are the one. Why aren't you running? You're perfect. You've got the ratings. You're black and you're a woman. Wouldn't even have to raise any campaign funds. She writes herself a check. Doesn't even notice it's missing from her account. Doesn't even notice. But she didn't want to be president. She could have had it. She didn't want to be president. President would be a step down for her. Why would she take a pay cut to work in such a little tiny White House? It doesn't make sense. I can't see her at the Vatican, though. That sounds like the next logical step. Pope Oprah. Oprah. She controls everything on the planet except her weight. The robe is one size fits all. It's not an issue. But we did it. We're so proud of ourselves. We finally did it. We finally got a black guy in the White House. We're so proud. He's only half black. We're still proud. You know, we still don't know if we can get a 3/4 black guy in there. That's never been done. That would be an entirely different milestone that has not been achieved. Bill Clinton, he was the first black president. He was all white. We're really taking baby steps on this one. It's very incremental progress. The whole thing from the beginning was ridiculous, you know? The questions were very infantilizing. Are we ready? They're asking us if we're ready. Are we ready for a black president? Are we ready for a woman in the world? The whole rest of the world is doing it already. We're behind. This was our moment to play catch up. I was hoping we'd play the wild card. I wanted to see like an HIV positive, transgender, devil worshipping paraplegic with a lisp. If they can balance a budget, let's give them a shot. That's mine. Get them in there, get them in there. I'm liking that Michelle, though, more than anything else about this administration. Michelle. Michelle. She deserves more than that. I have feelings for her that I have never felt for another First Lady. I don't know if it's right to feel that tingle for a First Lady. Every time I see her on TV, I swear to you, I just have to stop and I'm like, oh, please, turn around, please. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. First Lady's got back. There's your stimulus package right there. Honestly, I think this is the first time any president is going to have sex in the White House. With his wife, right? That's the real kicker. And I hope the rumors are true. I hope she's pregnant right now. I hope she has more kids. You know, because I'm the kind of guy, I like to put it right in people's noses. I would love for more black people to come out of the White House that went in the first place. We're lucky, I think, because we came very close. It could have been President Palin. If McCain had won, he would have died from the shock day 2, President. I guess I don't think I could have taken that voice, you know? Take it from a gal who preaches abstinence to her very own teenage daughter. Results may vary. Who would want that? Can you imagine? He's got to turn around the whole economy, not just our economy, the whole global economy. That's your job. That's at the top of your to-do list. Day 1, you want it? Go! Fix it! Go ahead! I can't even straighten out my own personal credit card situation. I had no idea how difficult it was. Have you tried? Do you know that just checking to see what your credit rating is lowers your credit rating? That's like looking in the mirror makes you uglier. Oh my God, really? It's worse than it was. Jesus Christ, let me take a, whoa, no, take it down. Woo! Do you guys work out? It doesn't matter what shape you're in, as long as you dress appropriately for whatever shape you happen to find yourself in. It's such a simple rule. Not everybody playing by that rule. You should never wear leather if it takes more leather to cover you than an actual cow. Do you see what I'm talking about? That's the litmus test right there. If your snug little outfit would hang loose on a member of the species that donated the hide, maybe leather is not your fabric. Do you know, I recently found this out. There are now just as many overweight people on the planet as there are people who are starving. We've got enough food. It's just a distribution problem. Nobody wants to share. We have to learn how to share. And the United States, we're the biggest offenders. We are the fattest people on the face of the planet in all human history. I'm not sure when we took the lead, but I'm guessing right around the time Popeye switched from spinach to fried chicken. People don't care. They're like, I'll buy 2 seats on that plane. I don't care. I'm going to keep eating. I don't care. People enjoy being fat. I'll pay the price. Just, I don't care. We have fat babies. We have fat dogs. They make fat furniture now. We are a fat country. You don't want to be too skinny, though. Too skinny, that's no good. You want a little... I mean, men won't admit this, but they see the skinny models on TV and they're like, oh, they're so beautiful, but in bed, no. You want something that's a little bit more upholstered than that. In the dark, that's what makes you feel good. But on the plane, there's always that guy who's pushing it. And now they don't know how to, they don't know how to charge. They want to charge you if you weigh too much. If you're too fat, they want to have a too fat charge on the plane, right? They don't even know what to call it. The fat charge, the extra, I don't know. The too big, the you don't fit in your seat charge. I don't know what. And they're like, oh, we don't know what the cutoff point is. How do you tell someone? You know, I'm like, well, if your stomach is on my lap, I think you have to pay extra. I deal with a lot of flying, you know. I wanted to get on the very next flight. Like, I was at the airport a little bit early, and I knew the next flight was empty. I said, can I please just take this one? Can I get on? And they were like, no. Stupid rule, stupid rule. It made no sense. I said, why? So because if we break the rules for you, we have to break them for everybody. And I said, no, because if you break the rules for me, you can we have to break the rules for everybody rules. Making that second break actually a reinstatement of the rule you didn't want to break in the first place. All these breaks cancel each other out, and we go back in time to right before this conversation started. And she looked at me for a second like she was rebooting her brain, you know? Do you want a window or an aisle seat, Mr. Santiago? It's like, man, that's the victory for the day. You know what I have noticed? Because I keep track every time there's a plane crash, the next day on TV, you can count on this. They drag out all the experts to try and convince you to get back up in the air and keep on flying. Like you didn't see that ball of fire all day long yesterday on the news. Like that might not give you pause. And it's always the same ridiculous argument. Statistically, flying is still safe. Statistically. Same with sharks, by the way. Statistically, you have a better chance of winning lotto or getting struck by lightning than attacked by a shark. Unless you happen to be in the water. Then the shark has a better chance of winning lotto than you do of getting away from the shark. Unless the shark gets struck by lightning. Then for that split second, you actually have a better chance against the shark than against the odds of winning lotto. Unless, and here's where it gets a little tricky, you win lotto, which suddenly puts you into the highest risk group for both shark attacks and lightning strikes. Statistically, there was no way out. You were screwed. You should not have flown that day. People don't realize there's different kinds of crashes. That's not generally known. You have your regular crash, you don't even hear about those. And then there's charred beyond recognition. You notice how it's never just charred? It's always beyond recognition. Like you're going to run into someone who is charred. And recognize him. Larry? Is that you? Well, I'd know you anywhere, but you might want to use a stronger sunblock here. You guys are a little slow, but I like Minneapolis anyway. I really do. Taking your time with them, letting them marinate, I like that. You know what I love the most about Minneapolis? I mean, there's a lot. I really enjoy playing here, but what I love the most and what keeps me coming back is the fact that you people have a White Castles here. Like seriously, like White Castles. I grew up on White Castle. As a Puerto Rican in New York, I grew up thinking, believing, honestly and truly, that White Castle hamburgers was traditional, indigenous Puerto Rican food. That's all we ever ate. I went straight from breastfeeding right to White Castle hamburgers. And then every Thanksgiving, my mother would stuff our turkey with like 80, 90 White Castle hamburgers. Our friends would come over, oh my God, this Puerto Rican stuffing is delicious! Can we have the recipe? No, it's a family secret. I don't think so. And then we'd scramble to hide the boxes so it wouldn't be embarrassing, you know. I don't know how much they told you about me, but I was born in New York like most Puerto Ricans. It's very traditional, actually. I went to George Washington Elementary School. I was the only Puerto Rican in that school, and in this school play, I got to play the part of George Washington. How do you like that? I was a founding papi. How do you like that? Yes. That was back when it meant something. Bill Santiago. My name is half and half, half English, half Spanish, half Latino, half non. I've learned how to go one way or the other with the name, you know, depending on the situation. There's certain situations where you want to be full on or not at all. And like if I'm dancing, if I go out dancing to a salsa club, I can't say Bill, it will not work. Not if you have the Santiago option, don't go with the Bill. If you walk into a salsa club, when someone asks you and you say your name is Bill, the music will stop. There will be no dancing for you. They can't even pronounce it. Oye, ¿cómo te llamas? Bill. Bill! Bill, I don't know what it is. In a Spanish-speaking environment, when you are thinking in Spanish, you know, the I is pronounced E. You can't wrap the tongue around fast enough to get the so it comes out wrong. Bill, Bill, Bill. Bill, Bill. If I'm dancing salsa, it's Guillermo, it's Guillermo. Ay, pues Guillermo, ¿por qué no lo dijiste? I can dance with a Guillermo. I don't dance with anybody named Bill. Sometimes I just go right for the Santiago, you know, like Madonna. What's your name? Santiago. Last name? Santiago, Santiago, just like Madonna, that's it. Santiago, let's go, let's get this thing going. I do wish sometimes I had a full-on, no questions asked, ultra, alpha, ultimate Latino name, something like Benicio del Toro. You hear that, there's no question, you spot him right away, oh, that must be him over there. That's the most Latino-looking guy in here. Look at there's steam coming out of his horns, that's Del Toro right there. But I think it's a Del Toro that puts the name over the top. You could tag Del Toro onto any name, no matter how un-Latino that first name was, Del Toro will qualify you instantly. You could be Chad Del Toro. You'd be thinking to yourself, I bet that Chad's a mean salsa dancer. With a name like Del Toro, there's no questioning it. You could be Obama Del Toro. Speaking of which, Obama's not even talking about immigration, is he? Right? Yeah, and there's no solution. I heard some crazy things during the campaign. For a while they were talking about deporting all the illegals. It's ridiculous. It's too late. Cinco Demayo is now an official American holiday. As a Puerto Rican, I don't celebrate. As an American, I have to. It's on the calendar I bought at Walmart. And everybody thinks, they just assume it's Mexican independence. It had nothing to do with Mexican independence. It was a temporary victory in the town of Puebla, Mexico, by the Mexicans over the French, happened on May 5th, Cinco Demayo. What you never hear is that 2 days later, the French came back. And whooped Mexican butt. That never gets mentioned. But it does illustrate just how festive and optimistic the Mexican people are. They were like, screw it, we had 2 good days. Break out the tequila, this is gonna be a holiday from now on. We did 2 days, people, make it official! So we might as well get used to it, you know? Stop all that English-only talk. There's no more English-only in this country. There's a lot of Spanish out there. Yeah, you better start at least mixing it up, you know, some Spanglish. You can't go anywhere in this country without hearing a little Spanglish. Atención, Kmart jobbers. It's a beautiful thing. How can you not love the Spanglish? Twice the vocabulary, half the grammar. It's made for this country. It's custom made. Watch out, it's coming. I mean, I grew up with it. You know, every night around the dinner table, you want more to eat? No, gracias, estoy full. But it's achieved a whole different level in our national consciousness. Now, I'm hearing a lot of Spanglish advertising. La nueva variety bucket, the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Cada pedacito de pollo frito está finger-licking delicioso. And don't think for a second it's just Latinos doing it. If anything has crossed over, it's the Spanglish. I heard this on Nightline. I swear to you. Are you insinuating North Korea doesn't have the cojones to launch a nuclear attack? And I'm thinking, how did that get by the censors? Who doesn't? Everybody knows exactly what cojones means. If you had any cojones, you would have said it in English. And then they hit me, wait a second, that's what you'd never hear that in a verse on Spanish TV. Entonces os quiere decir que Corea del Norte no tendría los testicles. Para lanzar los ataques nucleares contra los... I don't know why it doesn't work in the other direction. But don't try, you could get hurt. Not, even if you know how to do it, it's very risky, it's very risky. Now people hear me going back and forth and they're so curious, they ask me straight out, Bill, so then what language are you actually thinking in then? Well, it really depends on the last language you were operating in. You don't automatically switch over. There's a little bit of a lag. Like I was reading this ad for the Army, but it was in Spanish. So instead of I am Army, it said soy Army. Then I walk into Starbucks, and there's a sign that says soy milk. I was like, that's impossible. I am milk. Reporting for duty, sir. Let me at those lactose-intolerant sons of bitches. We are going to keep the homeland safe. Soy my ass. They allow you to be bilingual in this country, but they don't go out of their way to facilitate that little habit. Like I was trying to write my mother a very simple little email, Mami, I'll see you mañana. It doesn't get any simpler than that. But to get the ñ, the N with the squiggly over that gives you the ñ sound, that is such an important, it's not just a letter in the alphabet to us, it's not just a character, it's a symbol of our identity. Without the ñ, you don't even have Spanish, it's español. Nobody wants to speak español. But it's not on the keyboard, and to get it is so convoluted. It's like Alt 164. It's like alternate side of the street parking. I never remember what it is. I always get it wrong. I can never find the post-it where I put it. And the only word in the English language that has the ñ in it, officially the only one in the dictionary, in the spell check, in the software, the only one is piñata. So I have to write piñata. And then cut and paste. The discrimination's right in the software. It's I know Obama's busy, but eventually I hope he gets to it. I like talking to a live crowd, because you people can't hang up on me. I don't get that on the phone. On the phone, my friends, they try to get me off the phone, but by making it sound like I'm the one who's got better things to do. And I'm catching on, and I'm getting sick and tired of that line, too. Well, let me let you go. That takes a major cojones right there. Let me let you go. They're trying to get rid of you, but by asking permission to do you a favor. Would you let me let you stop wasting my time? Permit me to assist you in getting the hell off the phone. I don't know why I called you in the first place. But I regretted it the second you picked up the phone. You never think it fast enough, though. No matter how many times you've been caught in that loop, it's always like the first time, You're like, let me let you, like, all right. And thank you for letting me let you let me. Apparently, I got to be going. To go do this thing, something so important, so urgent that somehow you know about, but it slipped my mind. I couldn't even go take care of it if you hadn't released me from the hypnotic trance of your scintillating conversation. Thank you, you chit-chat Jedi, for letting me let you let me. I got up early for you people. I hope you appreciate it. Are you two wearing the exact same shirt? You are. I looked over. Every time I looked over, I was like, "What's something's going on over there? I don't know what it is." I couldn't stop, but now I have to stop. What happened? It's not the same shirt, but it's the exact same. You are really twins? You're not the Iota twins, are you? I have to start wrapping it up here. I want to be honest with you people. This show has veered way off course. I don't know why I went into that stuff at the top of the show. I lost all my bearings. I have no idea what I've been doing ever since I stopped talking about Farrah Fawcett's nipples. I have no idea what I've been doing. I've been looking for a way to get back to that, and I can't. I'm glad I got away with as much Spanish as I did tonight. Believe it or not, there are still pockets of resistance against the idioma. One time I come out on stage and I began the show this way just to test the waters. I said, "Hey, anybody here speak Spanish?" Guy in the front row looks at me and goes, "No, thank God." I was blown away. I'm looking, I had nothing. Normally I can roll with it. I'm like, thank God? You think, but in that moment, I picture him getting to heaven and the sign on the gate said, "Se habla español." My father was so hardcore about making sure that we got the language, that we spoke Spanish, that we had the culture, that he had passed that along. He used to lock me and my three brothers in the car every year for the trip from New York to Florida, and the whole way, no matter how long, we weren't allowed to speak anything but Spanish for like 20 hours, nothing but Spanish, or he'd flip out, "No, tiene que ser español, no matter what was going on. We're like, "But papi, there's a train coming, a train! No, español, but a train!" And you're freaking out because your Spanish isn't kicking in. El choo-choo! All right, thank you very much. You've been a very fun crowd.
Thanks for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your evening.